The small town of Havenwood had always seemed peaceful, nestled deep within an ancient forest. But for Emily, a young journalist, it was a place shrouded in mystery. She arrived on a foggy morning, hoping to uncover the truth behind the town's eerie reputation. As her car rolled into the town, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Emily checked into the only inn in town, an old Victorian building with creaking floors and dim lighting. The innkeeper, a wrinkled old woman named Mrs. Willow, handed her the key with a warning. "Stay inside after dark," she said. Emily nodded, puzzled, but determined to uncover the town's secrets. Emily wandered around the town square, noticing the odd stares from the townspeople. She asked a few of them about the town's history, but they quickly walked away. She then saw an old man sitting on a bench who beckoned her over. "They won't talk, but I will," he said. His name was Henry, and he told her about the disappearances that plagued Havenwood. That evening, against Mrs. Willow's advice, Emily ventured to the edge of the forest. The trees loomed tall and menacing, their branches like skeletal fingers. She felt a chill run down her spine as she noticed strange symbols carved into the trees. Suddenly she heard whispers and rustling in the bushes. She turned around, but there was no one there. Back at the inn, Emily found an old journal hidden in her room. It belonged to a previous guest who had disappeared. The journal detailed strange rituals and mentioned a place called the Shadow Grove. Emily knew she had to find this place to uncover the truth. The next day, Emily followed the map to Shadow Grove, a clearing deep within the forest. The air was thick with an unnatural silence. In the center of the grove was a stone altar covered in dark stains. As she examined it, she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. She turned to leave, but the forest seemed to close in around her. Night fell as Emily tried to find her way back. The forest was alive with shadows, and she could hear footsteps behind her. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness, a tall, gaunt man with hollow eyes. "You shouldn't be here," he hissed. Emily's heart pounded as she turned and ran, the man's laughter echoing in the darkness. Breathless, Emily burst into Henry's home. He revealed that the town was cursed, bound by a pact made generations ago. The townspeople sacrificed wanderers to appease the spirits of the forest. Henry gave her an old, dusty book that contained the ritual to break the curse, but it had to be performed at the altar in Shadow Grove. With dawn approaching, Emily returned to Shadow Grove with the book. She followed the instructions, lighting candles and chanting the incantation. The air grew colder, and shadows danced around her. Suddenly, the spirits of the forest appeared, wailing and swirling around the altar. Emily continued, her voice trembling but resolute. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, the spirits vanished. Emily collapsed, exhausted but relieved. She made her way back to the town, where the atmosphere had changed. The oppressive feeling was gone. The townspeople, now free from the curse, thanked her. Emily left Havenwood, knowing she had finally uncovered its dark secret.